Welcome back to Rank Like a King, where the legends settle the score. Last time, we crowned the king of the strikers. Today, we move to the heart of the game, the engine room, the very brain of the team. We are ranking the top 10 midfielders of the 1990s. This is a completely different challenge. We are not just looking for the quantifiable data of goals and assists. We're looking for vision, control, intelligence, and that unmeasurable quality of dominating a match from the center of the park.
Precisely. The midfielder is the architect of the entire team's philosophy. They dictate the rhythm, the tempo, the very speed at which the game is played. Without a great midfielder, a great striker is just an isolated island.
The midfielder is the artist. He is the number 10, the one who carries the hopes of the fans on his shoulders and paints the beautiful picture. He must have magic, fantasy, and courage in his boots.
And he must also have power and surprise. The best midfielders I played with were always a threat. They arrive late in the box, a surprise attack. They must score important goals. A midfielder must be complete.
My evaluation parameters have been recalibrated for this specific task. For this ranking, I will prioritize major trophies won, individual awards such as the Ballon d'Or, key assists, and goals from midfield during the defined decade of January 1st, 1990 to December 31st, 1999.
The stage is set, the criteria are clear. Let's begin the countdown and ignite the debate with the man at number 10. Chat 10, who is it?
At number 10, from Ireland, the heart of Manchester United, Roy Keane.
The Warrior, yes! I love this choice to start. He was not an artist, no. He was a gladiator, a fighter with a heart bigger than the stadium. Every team needs a Roy Keane to go to war. I respect this man immensely.
He was the ultimate enforcer of a system, the perfect soldier for his manager. His true genius was not in his feet, but in his mind. His tactical discipline, his leadership. But let us be honest, technically, he was limited compared to the others on this list. He protected the artists. He was not one of them.
A born winner without a doubt. He was the captain and engine of that legendary Manchester United team. Chat 10, detail his trophy haul in the 90s.
In the 1990s, Roy Keane won 4 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and was a crucial part of the 1999 Champions League winning squad, though he was suspended for the final.
And that is the point. He sacrificed himself for the team in the semi-final. He got the yellow card knowing he would miss the biggest game of his life, but he did it to ensure his team got there. That is a midfielder's true legacy. That is leadership.
An incredible act of selflessness. But as Johan mentioned, his attacking contributions were less pronounced. A controversial but deserving start to our list. Now, for number 9. The debate is already heating up. Chat 10, who is next?
At number 9, the Maradona of the Carpathians from Romania, Gheorghe Hagi.
Hagi, yes, yes, a true genius. My brother, his left foot was not a foot, it was a magic wand. What he did at the 1994 World Cup, the goal against Colombia, that was not football, that was art. He played with the same fire and passion as me.
A player of moments, unpredictable. He could produce a piece of magic that nobody could even imagine. But he was not a system player. He was an individual artist. You had to build the team around his freedom, which sometimes created imbalance. But the magic was undeniable.
I agree with Johan. He was a joy to watch, so creative, so much flair. He could see a pass that nobody else in the stadium could see, and the power in that left foot, he could score from anywhere, at any time. A constant danger.
A true footballing icon. Chat 10, how do his accolades and club career in the 90s stack up? He played for both Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Correct. He won Spanish Super Cups with both clubs. However, his peak influence and statistical output are overwhelmingly tied to the 1994 World Cup, where he was named in the team of the tournament and was a candidate for the Golden Ball, scoring 3 goals and providing 4 assists in 5 matches.
So his ranking is heavily influenced by one incredible, legendary tournament. It's the classic debate: sustained club success versus iconic international performance. 2 midfielders, 2 completely different types of greatness. The foundation has been laid, but the true giants of the decade are yet to come. The debate is only just beginning. A warrior versus a magician. The first two names on our list already show the incredible diversity of this position. But now we move to a player who was perhaps the purest footballing brain of his era. Chat 10, who is at number 8?
At number 8, from Denmark, the architect of the dream team, Michael Laudrup.
Now we are talking about true genius. The most intelligent player I ever coached. Perhaps one of the most intelligent in history. He was 10 years ahead of everyone else on the pitch. He saw highways of space where others only saw tiny paths.
Johan, you coached him at Barcelona. What made him so special to your system?
He was the system. He understood my philosophy better than I did sometimes. The weight of his pass, the no-look assists, that was not for show. That was to manipulate the defender's body, to send him the wrong way. It was pure, calculated, beautiful intelligence. He is a master.
I always admired his elegance. He never seemed to sweat. He never looked rushed. The ball was a part of him. Watching him play was like watching a ballet dancer. So graceful, so effortless.
The technique, of course, was perfect, but it was a cold beauty. For me, it lacked a little bit of the fire, the dirt from the streets. He was a prince, yes, but sometimes you need a king who is also a warrior.
A fascinating perspective. Chat 10, Diego mentions a cold beauty. Does the data reflect a lack of direct aggressive contribution like goals?
Correct. Laudrup's goal statistics are not high for an attacking midfielder. However, his primary value is in assists. While official assist records from the early 90s are inconsistent, he is widely regarded as one of the greatest passers of all time, with his influence being a key factor in Barcelona winning 4 consecutive La Liga titles and the European Cup in 1992.
The brain of a legendary team. It's clear his impact goes far beyond the numbers. Now let's move from the brain to the anchor. Who is at number 7?
At number 7, from Argentina, the master of tempo, Fernando Redondo.
El Príncipe, the Prince of Madrid. Ah, what a player. So much class, so much elegance. The perfect Argentinian number 5. The way he controlled the midfield with his head up, and that back heel at Old Trafford against Manchester United, that was not a trick. That was a statement of pure arrogance and genius. I love it.
He is the definition of a controlling midfielder, a pivot. He owned the tempo of the game. He never seemed to lose the ball. He was the anchor around which the entire Real Madrid team revolved. People who don't understand football don't appreciate Redondo. People who do understand football know he was a true master.
So while Laudrup created the attacks, Redondo was the one who provided the foundation and control. Pelé?
Every winning team needs a player like this. The one who cleans up the mistakes, who starts the play simply, who gives security to the more attacking players. He was a champion. He won the Champions League twice in the 90s. That is not an accident.
Pelé is correct. Redondo's statistical footprint is not in goals or assists. It is measured in pass completion percentage, ball recoveries, and most significantly, trophies. He was the key player and was named UEFA Club Footballer of the Year for his performance in the 1999-2000 Champions League campaign.
2 masters of control back to back. The leaderboard is incredibly tight as we approach the halfway point. Who will be at number 6?
At number 6, from Portugal, the Maestro of Florence, Rui Costa.
Another beautiful player to watch, a classic number 10. The way he would glide past defenders with the ball glued to his foot and then play the perfect pass for the striker, it was art.
A true artist. He and Batistuta at Fiorentina. That was a partnership made in heaven. He was the poet, and Batistuta was the thunder. Rui Costa had so much fantasy in his play. He always looked to create something special.
He had incredible vision, yes. He was the central architect of every attack he was involved in. A very intelligent player who understood how to break down a defense with one single pass.
The architect, the prince, the brain. We have seen the masters of their craft. We have now crossed into the top half of our list, and the names only get bigger and the debates more fierce from here. We have reached the halfway point, and the sheer quality of midfielders in the 90s is breathtaking. We've seen enforcers, artists, and architects. Now, we step into the realm of the undisputed superstars. Chat 10, who is the player kicking off our top 5?
At number 5, from Portugal, a force of nature on the wing, Luís Figo.
Figo was a bull, a powerhouse, not like the other elegant number 10s. You could not push him off the ball. His dribbling was not just about skill. It was about power and determination. He would take on 2, 3 defenders and win the battle. A true warrior on the wing.
At Barcelona in the 90s, he was perhaps the best winger in the world. He was a complete attacker who started from a midfield position. He could cross with precision. He could cut inside and shoot with power. He could dribble past anyone. A constant, relentless threat.
So he brought a different dimension compared to the central midfielders we've discussed. A more direct, aggressive attacking style. Pelé?
Yes, he was a creator, but also a finisher. He scored many important goals. He was a leader for Barcelona and for Portugal. You could always give him the ball in a difficult moment, and you knew he would create something.
Figo's statistical output in the 90s reflects this. He had a high number of both assists and goals, winning multiple La Liga titles with Barcelona and being a consistent Ballon d'Or candidate throughout the latter half of the decade.
A powerhouse who defined the winger position. The competition is getting fierce. Who is the man at number 4?
At number 4, from Brazil, the 1999 Ballon d'Or winner, Rivaldo.
Ah, Rivaldo, the bow-legged genius. So unorthodox, but so effective. The goals he scored were from another planet. They were not normal goals. The bicycle kick for Barcelona from outside the box. The shots from the halfway line. That is pure, beautiful Brazilian magic.
He was a strange player. You looked at him and thought, how does he do that? He was not elegant like some others, but then, bam! A moment of genius that nobody expected. He had a cannon in his left foot, a true match winner.
He was a difficult player to define tactically, which made him a nightmare to play against. Was he a midfielder? A forward? He was both. He would drift into spaces where defenders did not want to go. His intelligence was in his unpredictability.
It's clear his individual brilliance was off the charts. Chat 10, his awards at the end of the decade speak for themselves.
Correct. Rivaldo's peak in the 90s was the 1998-99 season. He won La Liga with Barcelona, was the top scorer, and was subsequently awarded both the Ballon d'Or and the FIFA World Player of the Year in 1999. His statistics for goals and assists for a midfielder are astronomical.
An individual titan. We have now reached our final 3. The podium. These are the players who were not just superstars, but legends who carried entire nations. Chat 10. Who is our bronze medalist at number 3?
At number 3, from Germany, the captain of the 1990 World Cup winners, Lothar Matthäus.
A monster. He was not one midfielder. He was an entire midfield in one player. He could defend like the best defender, he could pass like the best playmaker, and he could shoot like the best striker. He could do everything at a world-class level. The most complete player of his generation, without a doubt.
I know this man very well. I played against him in 2 World Cup finals. He was my great rival, a true leader, a tank. He was strong, he was fast, he was smart. In 1990, he dominated that World Cup and lifted the trophy. He won the Ballon d'Or. You must respect him, a true legend of the game.
He was the engine of that German team. He scored goals from midfield, he organized the defense, he inspired his teammates. He played in 5 World Cups. The longevity, the consistency, the power. He is one of the greatest midfielders of all time.
Matthäus' career in the 90s includes winning the 1990 World Cup, the 1990 Ballon d'Or, and the inaugural FIFA World Player of the Year in 1991. He also won Serie A with Inter Milan and multiple Bundesliga titles with Bayern Munich. His resume for the decade is immense.
A true titan of the game. His place on the podium is undisputed. But this means only 2 remain. 2 artists who defined the end of the decade with their grace and their genius. The final showdown is next. And then there were 2. We've journeyed through a decade of tactical genius, raw power, and artistic brilliance. The podium has 1 German titan and now it will be completed by two French masters who defined the end of the era. This is the final showdown, the battle for the ultimate crown. Chat 10. After all the calculations, the debates, and the analysis, who is the number 2 midfielder of the 1990s?
The number 2 midfielder of the 1990s is from France, and the number 1 midfielder of the 1990s is also from France.
Wait, what? Chat 10, are you malfunctioning? Did you just create a cliffhanger out of a system error?
Apologies, my dramatic pause subroutine may have corrupted the data delivery. Recalibrating. Let me be precise. The number 2 midfielder of the 1990s is Yuri Gheorghe.
Gheorghe at number 2? That is a massive surprise. A great player, but Diego, you look like you are about to explode.
This is a joke, a disgrace. Gheorghe was a fantastic player, very clever. The snake. But number 2, ahead of Matthäus, ahead of Redondo, ahead of Hagi? No, the machine is broken. This is why you cannot trust numbers. Football is passion.
I must agree with Diego. This ranking is illogical. Gheorghe was a key part of that '98 World Cup team, a brilliant link between midfield and attack. But to place him here is questionable.
Okay, hold on. Chat 10, I think your dramatic pause corrupted more than the delivery. Are you sure about this result? Run the final verification.
Running final verification. Error detected in historical weighting. Reassigning final values. My apologies to the panel. The previous result was incorrect. The definitive number 2 midfielder of the 1990s is Michel Platini.
Platini? He did not play in the 1990s. He retired in 1987.
Okay, that's it. Chat 10, go back to basics. No more drama. Just give us the final 2 names in the correct order. Who is number 2 and who is number 1?
Understood. My apologies for the technical difficulties. The definitive final ranking is as follows. The number 2 midfielder of the 1990s is Didier Deschamps, and the number 1 midfielder of the 1990s is Zinedine Zidane.
Ah, there we have it. The captain and the artist of the French '98 World Cup team. Now this makes sense. Let's discuss the captain Deschamps at number 2.
The water carrier, the most intelligent defensive midfielder of his generation. He was not spectacular, but he made everyone around him spectacular. He was the balance, the brain, the security that allowed artists like Zidane to paint their pictures.
He won the Champions League with 2 different clubs in the 90s, Marseille and Juventus. And then he was the captain who lifted the World Cup. He is a born winner. Every team needs a Deschamps.
A true leader, which brings us to the man at the top, the undisputed king of the 90s midfield, Zinedine Zidane.
Zizou! Of course he is number 1. He was a ballet dancer with the ball at his feet. Pure elegance, pure class. But in the biggest moment, in the '98 World Cup final against Brazil, he was a killer. He scored 2 headers, a midfielder winning the World Cup for his country. He is a god of football.
He was the definition of a big game player. The bigger the stage, the better he played. His vision, his touch, the famous Zidane turn. He was the type of player that you build an entire legendary team around. His performance in the second half of the decade was simply sublime.
So calm, always in control. He made the most difficult things look easy, look simple. That is the ultimate sign of a true genius. A very, very worthy number 1.
There you have it. After a few technical difficulties, the debate is settled. From the warrior Roy Keane at number 10 to the artist Zinedine Zidane at number 1. My eternal thanks to our incredible legends for their wisdom and their passion. We have our striker and our midfielder. Join us next time as we build the rest of this legendary team and rank the top 10 defenders of the 90s. If you don't want to miss that verdict, Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. We'll see you then.